There's a 5-minute wait for the train. The sad reality of taking the overground is that the next train doesn't come for 10 minutes. That looks bad. The next train doesn't come for 10 minutes, but at least this is like out in the open, and like his sunrise just happening over there, and you can see some buildings, so, but I will be late, unfortunately. A very fine good morning to you all. So recently I've been baristaring. I've been helping out at this small local cafe, been making some coffees, which has been really cool. There have been some quiet moments sometimes, so I'm able to like practice frothing the milk. And what I normally do is I fill the cup with water and I froth the water to try and get the swirly vortex thing, rather than obviously wasting the milk. Last Friday there was a problem with the coffee machine and I wasn't sure what it was, so I set to work trying to work it out. I didn't know what I was doing, trying to like think about it and deduce what was going on, and I solved it. I done really well, so that was pretty cool. You know, I felt like there was a problem and then I solved it, and I felt really good about that. There was also this other guy there, and he was a friend of like the owner, and he was like a specialty barista, and he came in and he was okay, but it was like, you know, like he came in and then he was like he could help, which was fine. So I said, okay, you can help. But then he started saying things like, oh, this machine is not the same machine I have. So then he started asking AI, and then I was like, well, if you're just asking AI, then you're going down the process of problem solving and you're not using your own knowledge. Then in that case, me and you are on equal footing in this problem. And not only that, I have experience and I'm already orientated towards solving the problem, and he's not. Does that make sense? Because he just started. So instead of helping solve the problem, he was just like using the other machine, and because we don't use the other machine, he was finding faults in it, saying like, oh, you have to wash this, and then he started frothing the milk, and then he was just like finding problems with everything, and he was justifying the problems, and he was saying that because this isn't a commercial machine, you can't use it. But that doesn't make sense, because the machine, it wasn't like the machine was working and then it wasn't working. It wasn't like a gradual thing. So if what he said had been true and logically it sound, then it would have been a gradual decrease. It wouldn't have been a sudden decrease. That always happens. And yeah, it was just annoying because he was like, instead of solving the problem, he was justifying the problem, and then he went around the problem. And in going around the problem, he just ended up finding more problems, and then he was like confusing the other people who weren't as sure on the barista and stuff. And he was saying like, oh, this milk frother isn't good, this thingy isn't good. No, it wasn't good, because I was making coffees with it the other day. Today. Like, I know it's not as finely calibrated as your fancy machines, but it's like, you don't have to come in here and it was just annoying. It was annoying, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. There was a problem with the grinder and there was a stone stuck in it, and after a process of elimination I was able to remove that stone, thanks to me. But instead of helping me with that, he just said, oh, the reason why this is broken is because not meant to be for a commercial machine, which doesn't make sense anyway, because it's a low volume coffee shop and we're not serving like 1,000 coffees, so the output is the same. And then he went to use the manual coffee machine, and he was talking about like the beans was not finely grounded and they were too coarse. Oh, like, bro, spare me the chit chat. Anyway, we're gonna go and make some coffees today, so that should be fun. But gonna clean it out, do the first one, and then I'm gonna make myself a coffee. The guy said to empty one out, but that's not what I remember the other girl telling me. The other girl said it's only for the water one, and the guy today was saying that it's for this one as well, so I don't know. Okay, so that's the end of it. Going home now. I'm so tired. It's been a long time, but look at these autumn colors, man. Look how beautiful autumn is. I love it. I love the colors I get to see, man. and something to be grateful for. Good morning everyone, Baristaring day number 2. I negotiated to start 1 hour later today, so I got like 1 hour's worth more of sleep, which is good, which really makes a difference, you know. So yeah, a bit late though. Right, everyone, shift done today. There was this guy in the morning and I was a little bit affronted by his assumption that there was a degree of familiarity between us. Like, he came in there and he started asking me like all these like personal questions within like the 5 seconds, and it just bugged me. It bugged me because I felt like he was laboring under the assumption that it was as if he's making me accept the premise that like we're like really like, by asking me all those personal questions, he's presented me the premise that he can make demands and like start asking questions. And I didn't like that because I felt like it excluded like the other people working in the shop. And I don't like when people exclude other people. And it was just like, bro, don't speak to me on a personal level. There's other people working in here and like I don't even know you. Like, it's okay if I know you, but yeah. But yeah, gonna go home now. Latte, I think the milk texturing wasn't as good today, but it was okay. I got 1 compliment, so it's okay. That's like 15 minutes for a train.
The next stop.
Also, yesterday I made this little diagram to explain all the different coffees. So it's like espresso, double espresso, flat white, the big ones here, and just the difference between the two. So all those going to coffee shops paid off, huh? So we have a small problem with our coffee machine at the moment. The wand is not secure, so it kind of like wiggles around a bit. So it's hard to do latte art, it's hard to froth the milk because there's instability on it, it's uncontrollable, it moves, it's not stable, sorry. And I just had a look underneath and it's literally like a ball band socket, like a shoulder joint, and the socket is literally a nut. So I'm thinking if you tighten that nut, it will stiffen the ball and socket joint, and hence it will be more stable. But I gotta figure out how to, or think about how to. It's like a big long screw, so it's bigger than I thought it would be. Don't know if you can. So I'm trying to sell some of the cakes that we have at the moment, and there was this guy who walked in, he just saw the fridge by the doorway and he was like, oh, how much is for the drinks? And I said £1.20. He came to pay by card, the £1.20. I was trying to like upsell him. I was just saying like the cakes are on discount if you'd like to have a look. And he had a look and then he liked the chocolate one and then said, well brother, how much are the slices? So I said I could show you, and then he says, no problem if you don't want it. And then he took one in the end, and then he gave a funny story of how he's. But yeah, I felt pretty proud of myself for that. I thought like that was good. That was good. That was pretty cool. You know? So this is after using a different frother. So as you can see, I have a lot of cake boxes. They're clearing out the cakes. I'm happy. I feel so much more confident and I believe in myself a lot more because that new machine showed that like I can do the latte art, I can froth the milk. It was just the machine. It was the machine as opposed to me. I still wish I could have done it on the other machine. I'd like to like work with what I got, but I'm happy. It just made me feel more confident, so it's good. Good morning everyone, we're on the Waterloo bridge at the moment. I'm going to Waterloo station. I'm a bit embarrassed because there's so many people. But I need to get a train and it needs to be one of the national rail trains to like southwest London. So that's very far from me. I've travelled an hour just to get here and it's for a job. Not a job interview, I'm going to their office. But it's really sketchy because it's in like a residential area. So it's like traveling from my house to London and doing that distance again on the other side of London. So it's really shady, but I checked it out and it looks good. I've always wanted to go to Waterloo station, so and I've never been. So, but this is a really nice view of London. I'm just going to show you. You can see HSBC in the back as well. I'm gonna go there and pick up my uniform. It's like my induction thing, and I'm getting paid. When I first told my mum about this, she freaked out and she was so stressed. She was like, why are you going somewhere that's so far? But she was actually stressed about something else. So it just shows you that, like, if someone says something, it's not you, it's them, right? So, you know, but this is a nice bridge. See? It's beautiful. My favorite bridge. You can see everything. You can see all those and all of those, so it's pretty cool. So King's College is around here. This is the James Clerk Maxwell. I think that's physics. So when I first started applying to uni, I was looking at that. So, you know. Right, so this is Waterloo Station. I need a coffee, I've done a pee, and hopefully get on the train to Dorking. So I'll have to read the signs, but that should be fun.
Trains between Waterloo and Junction.
Right, so I just spoke to someone and he basically said the train that leaves for Dorking that I just missed it, and that the next one isn't for an hour. And he was like, where do you want to go? I was like, I said the station, and he said, oh, you can get on this other train, which isn't the original train you wanted, but it goes to the stop. So I had to like double check with someone else just in case like he misheard me or something. Alright, ladies and gents, so I got a coffee. I got a cappuccino. I didn't realise how expensive coffees were in London because I was so used to getting it outside of London. And also got some pastries from M&S downstairs because the M&S pastries are excellent. I got two though, which ended up like being like £4. And yeah, I wasn't expecting this to be that much. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I thought I just heard a train that said the station, but I don't know. The next one's at 55, which is like in 20 minutes, so I have a bit of time. There's also a Foyles downstairs. You know, one time I came here and I've never been on a train from here. And I've always wanted to come here, so that's good. I've never appreciated how stressful it is to actually make sure you find your train. I had 4 minutes, and you know, like when you're like to your parents, oh, like we have 3 hours, why are we going so early? I get it now, So I was sitting down having my coffee, and then I was like when it's like past and he said 9:54, I was like, it seems so far away, right? But then I was sitting down and I was like, it's 9:50 already. I was like, I need to get to my train before I miss it. So I was like, asking, well, yo, which platform is it? And then I was asking this guy, and he said go on 2. But I thought I had to go on 4, but it's okay. But I'm on the right train now, so I can relax. And I even found a little table, so that's...
Junction, Earlsfield, Wimbledon.
I'm one other member of staff. I'm currently located towards the rear of the train, but you can also find me passing.
So the train is at 9:54, but it left at 9:53. It's not like an example when you can come in like just at the very end. So I was a little bit stressed, but it's okay. It's good. If my awareness is right, we should be passing Battersea Power Station. We're going like behind it. Okay, so we've arrived. Now comes the hard part of actually finding this place. So I just checked Google Maps, I put the address in, and it seems pretty straightforward. Just gonna go down here for like 12 minutes or something, and I should be there, and I'm like 7 minutes early, so I should get there on time, which is good. It looks like a nice area, very green. On the train there was like some fields as well. So yeah, I'll let you know how it goes afterwards, okay? Hey guys, so as you can tell, I just arrived in Waterloo. You can see the people behind me. I decided not to take the job in the end. I went in there, there was like 2 other guys in there, and it was a house, but it was like an office as well. The guys were like really like stand-up guys, you know, and the job seemed really interesting. You got to go to different events around London, and you got to build up like the stages, and you got to work in really nice places, really nice corporate places, and they set up stages and all these things, and they were showing us how to build it and stuff. It was really cool. I really wanted to do it, but then I was talking to them and they started saying stuff like, oh, if you get sent a job at 2 a.m. in the morning. And then like he said it so many times, and then it started to click to me, like, how many times are you gonna get a job at 2 a.m. in the morning? And then it dawned upon me that I wasn't on the same page as them. So I knew it was like choose your own hours kind of role, but the way they was explaining it was like you could be working all night long and then get a job at 6 a.m. in the morning. And I'm thinking, hold on, this ain't what I'm thinking. So I was trying to like deduct, because everyone else was on a different page, and I was trying to deduce what's actually going on here. And then I asked a few more questions. It was a bit hard because like there was one guy who kind of knew what he was doing because he worked in that kind of sector. But then when I was sitting with them, I was like, okay, this guy, he's a stand-up guy, he's really cool, he's really friendly, you know, he's a tough guy and stuff, but after a while I was like, okay, he's friendly. So I asked him some more questions, but it was like I was asking one after the other because it wasn't clear in my mind. And I asked him, like, I thought that it was like you give your availability from like 9 to 5, but the way you're talking about it, I'm understanding you have to be available for the whole day. Or at least I got that conclusion after like constantly asking him. But I really had to like constantly ask him. He was like, you're expected to be available for the whole day. And when you get a text for a job, you're meant to take it. Like 95% of the time you're meant to take it, which is fine, like I understand. But then I was like, this job ain't for me. And then he was going to give us uniforms, and it was really cool because they had a hard hat and they had like these gloves, and it was really cool, and he got it out for me. I came to the conclusion that once you put it on, it's your uniform. Like once you start touching it and stuff, it's your uniform. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to touch that just yet, because if you have to work 200 hours for the company to be able to not pay for your uniform, and it's like £67, I didn't want to take it because I was in my mind, I was working out. And all of this is whilst he's explaining it, right? I'm like, 200 hours. If I'm working 20 hours a week, roughly, that's 20, 80 a month. So 80 a month is that's already like 2.5 months worth of work. That's a long time. Like it's a good amount of time. You know, so I'm trying to get the station in the background. But it's a good amount of time, and so you're available for the whole day, and they're expecting you to work whenever you want, and you get given like 4 hours, 6 hours. So it'll be like 4 hours, and now I'm thinking you'll probably have to travel from one end of London to another end of London, 6 hours, and then he's talking about like night bus and 2 a.m. and all these things, and I was like, I can't do all of this. So, but he was really cool. He was really nice. They're really like, it's not like working in like Westfield or whatever. In a store, it's like construction guys. Like imagine like construction guys. That's how I kind of imagine it. It's like them. So I was at the end, I was like, and it's awkward to like ask persistent questions because obviously he's trying to teach. And I asked one question, but like I'm not satisfied. I got to ask like 5 to kind of build up this whole comprehensive idea of what I'm getting myself into. So I kept asking him, and I was like, I'm really sorry, but he was like, he'd rather me explain it. And he was emphasizing like communication is really important in their company. So I was like, okay, what? Just carry on. I just kept asking him, and okay, can I get back to you? Like, give me 5 minutes. Like, it was really awkward. But it wasn't that bad because he was friendly. He was a stand-up guy. Bro, I'm telling you, everyone who works there is a stand-up guy. And I'd actually love to work for them. I'd love to do that type of work because it sounds so fun. But the one thing I cannot wrap my head around is awkward, unscheduled hours that I have no predictability about, because I can't do like 1 week is night shift, 1 week is day shift. I really can't do that. So at the end he was like, okay, do you get me? I can't do that because it's like I can do one or the other and I can do it really well, but I can't do it like that. And I was thinking like, okay, because on the thing it's like 20-30 hours, but it's made up of 4-6 hours like this and like that, and it's very unpredictable. So sometimes it can be 12. And this guy was talking about something like you're working the whole night and then you get a text at 6 a.m. saying come for this job, and he's talking about if that happens, like call up the guys and tell them like you can't do it because you're trying to kill me. And I was just like, what am I getting myself into? But honestly, it sounded really fun, and I respect them because it's a hard job, and I appreciate them picking me because not many other places picked me. He took me there and stuff. But yeah, he was really nice at the end. I think they think I'm so much better than them because like I have a degree and stuff. So he was like really impressed that I have a physics degree. So at the end I was like, okay, yeah, I've decided. I'm sorry that, yeah, I said it sounds really fun and it sounds really interesting, which it is, because I'd much rather do that type of work than like something like working in the store. I think that's more fun. And he was saying that like you have stories for life, which I think is really cool. So at the end I was like, okay, yeah, it sounds really great. I appreciate you telling me all of this, but the awkward hours I can't do. And he was like, no worries, mate. I appreciate you being honest with me, because it's very expensive having the equipment, and then like people are keen on the day but then they don't show up and stuff like that. So he appreciated that, and he said something really nice. He was like, okay, I'm sure one day I'm gonna be building a stage for you, which obviously I know they just say because like whatever, but it was still really nice. He was saying like, oh, I wish you all the best, wish you all the success. So that was nice. So I will probably go and get shawarma now. There's a nice shawarma place outside. Alright, got the shawarma. I don't know if you can see it, but it's this place behind me. It's like underneath the bridge at Waterloo. I've seen them a couple of times and I wanted to try it. And it was only, do you see it there? Do you see it there? It's only £9, which is really good, because I thought at least £14 is going to be.